Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square, and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. e6 opens up a line for the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle quickly, while preparing to push a pawn to d5 and recapture with a pawn if captured. Knight f3 develops toward the center, putting pressure on the e5 square and adding another defender to the d4 pawn. d5 takes space in the center, attacks the c4 pawn, and helps control the e4 square. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. That pawn was free for the taking. This threatens to win a pawn through an eventual fork. c5 gains space in the center and challenges the d4 pawn. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the pawn on d4. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. That was a free pawn. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. White develops further. That's fine. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This is an equal trade. Takes back. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured. This forces the opponent to get an isolated pawn on a semi-open file. Recaptures. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. A very strong play. This offers an equal trade of pieces. This overlooks an opportunity to move a bishop to safety. The piece finds a new active square. This overlooks an opportunity to move a piece to safety. The game is still close to equal, but white lost their advantage. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. Takes back. One of the best moves. This is the strongest option. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. The rooks are coordinated and powerfully doubled on the file. Right on target. A solid choice. This is a fair move. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. White begins maneuvering the knight toward a more active square. A very strong play. The knight finds a new active square. One of the best moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Very precise. The knight now occupies a secure outpost. This move puts the rook on a safer square. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. A solid choice. This is not the right idea. This overlooks an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. This is the strongest option. This steps away from the checking rook. This is the only move that works. This overlooks an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a rook. White had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. This misses an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. Right on target. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Very precise. That's fine. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This overlooks an opportunity to attack a pawn chain. White finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a pawn. This moves the rook to safety. White will be winning a pawn with that fork. This steps away from the checking knight. This is the strongest option. A very strong play. Right on target. This defends the attacked pawn. This is a fair move. Very precise. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This move puts the knight on a safer square. One of the best moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This strikes at the center to fight for space. This allows the knight to control more squares. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. This attacks a knight, winning a tempo when it moves away. That pawn was free for the taking. This wins time by threatening a knight and forcing it to move away. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This is the strongest option. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This misses a better way to reveal a check. This evades the check from the rook. Right on target. This is the only good move. This steps away from the checking rook. Very precise. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. A solid choice. This wins material. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This steps away from the checking rook. Very precise. This evades the check from the knight. This leads to checking away the king from a key square, winning material. This defends the attacked pawn. This is the strongest option. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. With the right follow-up, this will lead to checkmate.